Hey guys, I'm so excited to be with you. I'm going to go over the reading lesson because I know some of you struggled with it last time. So, actually, this week it's one that we've worked on before, SWBST. Somebody wanted, but so then. So, remember, we're doing a summary of a story. So, I'm going to read to you, we've done this one, The Tortoise and the Hare. Hare was a swift and speedy creature. He could easily hop circles around many animals. Compared to Hare, Pokey Tortoise was the slowest of all. One brisk autumn morning, Hare came racing up to Tortoise and skidded suddenly to a stop. He began to make fun of Tortoise. "You have short feet, a slow pace," said Hare unkindly. "That may be true," answered Tortoise cheerfully, "but even though you are swift as the wind, I can easily beat you in a race." Hare laughed so wildly that he had to stop and gasp for breath. He then challenged Tortoise to a race the very next day. Tortoise accepted immediately, and they agreed to meet promptly at noon by the huge old oak tree. The next day, the animals lined both sides of the road to watch the race. Tortoise and the Hare stepped up to the starting line. When Fox blew the whistle to signal the start of the race, Hare took off so fast he looked like a furry blur. Tortoise began to move slowly and steadily in his usual plodding way. The animals looked at each other and thought, "There is no way Tortoise will ever win." Far ahead, Hare laughed triumphantly. "You'll never beat me," he boasted loudly. Hare was so sure he was going to win, he decided he had time to stop by a peaceful pond and rest in the shade of the tall grass. With an overconfident smile on his whiskered face, he fell asleep. Tortoise, meanwhile, continued to plod slowly along. Step by step, he traveled the racing path. Eventually, steady Tortoise passed Hare, who was snoring loudly. Some time later, a dragonfly landed on Hare's nose and startled him awake. He leapt up and turned his head quickly from side to side. Suddenly, his ears stood up straight and his mouth dropped wide open. He couldn't believe it. Tortoise was nearing the finish line. Hare began to sprint after Tortoise as fast as he could. His heart raced and his muscles ached from running so fast, but he could not catch Tortoise in time. Tortoise smiled happily as he stepped over the finish line. He had won. He waited patiently for Hare to reach the end and then politely shook his paw. Hare learned a valuable lesson that day. Slow and steady wins the race. All right, so if we look back, we talked about the somebody in this story is Hare. Hare wanted to beat Tortoise in a race. But he thought he was so far ahead and he was going to win so easily, so he stopped to take a nap. And then Tortoise passed Hare and won the race. And we even talked about how this story and most stories have a lesson in it. And I think Hare learned a very good lesson in this story. So hopefully when you go to do your SWBST this week, now on your lesson, you'll remember what we talked about and how you need to do it. If you have any questions, just send me a comment and let me know.